Welcome to another GACS moment brought to us each week by our good friend Paul Borges and the great staff at PB Collectables, your neighborhood card shop. Go to pbcollectables.com for all of your cards and sports memorabilia, a great little shop in Rhode Island. This week, I want to talk about what I consider the Mount Rushmore of players to collect. Excuse me. If you're interested in building a vintage portfolio and need to choose 4 players to use for your investment, you can't go wrong with these 4 big guns. And keep in mind, you don't need to own the cards of these players in high grades because they can get very, very expensive. Low to mid-grade cards of these grades will do the trick. And you don't have to break the bank. So if you're an average collector, which most of us are, you want to consider investing in these players. Low to mid-grade cards of these greats will do the trick. These 4 greats, without a doubt, are the Mount Rushmore of, in my opinion. Number 1, of course, Babe Ruth. If you can muster a Ruth collection of some sort, you're off to a great start. The 33 Gowdy, for instance, is a great card, the 1923 W515-1, the W516-1, the W517. You may be able to afford a Gowdy or 2 in a low grade. That's the point I'm trying to make here. You don't have to break the bank. Invest the card. You can buy a PSA 1, a PSA 2. If you're going to flip the card, you're wasting your money. Buy the card, hold on to it, and see what happens. Number 2, Honus Wagner. Again, Honus Wagner, we're not going to talk about the T206 Wagner because that's kind of out of the range of everyone. But for instance, the 1910 E91, the E93, the E92 Dockman & Sons, the Crackerjack, or the E90-2, which that's a card that I particularly love. Again, you can buy a Wagner in a low grade. You don't have to break the bank. A great card to invest in a 1, a 2, a 3. If you can afford it at a little higher grade, you're not going to go wrong with that particular card. Number 3 on my Mount Rushmore list is obviously Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb, great player. You can go with the M116 Sporting Life, a T205, T206, Crackerjack, a US Caramel, 1933, a T203. There are many different variations of Cobb cards that you can buy. Again, you don't have to buy, for instance, the T206 Cobb with his bat off the shoulder in a 7 or 8. A lot of us can't afford it. However, you buy it in a 1, you buy it in a 2, you hold on to it. It's a great investment. Last but not least, Lou Gehrig. Lou Gehrig, another great player. That's the 4th card, the 4th player on my Mount Rushmore. The 1933 Gowdy, 32 US Caramel, 34 Gowdy. There are many, many different Gehrig cards that you can buy. The more obsolete, and I don't want to say obsolete, but the less popular, the better off you are. Again, these are only examples, and you can make your buying decision. But our suggestion is looking into every issue that goes from there. T206, T205s, Gowdies, Caramel cards, E90s, W502s, DeLongs, a card in the PSE, a PSA 1, or even Authentic is still a good investment for these iconic players. As I always say, if you're going to flip the card, don't bother. Hold on to them for long term, and you can't go wrong. And that's another GACS moment.
The Great American Collectibles Show is available to watch on YouTube and Facebook, or you can catch the audio anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast, with new episodes airing every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.